Yeah. Hey guys. Hey everybody. Nice to catch up with you all. Let me turn on my camera so you don't think I'm a phantom or anything. I'm actually here in LA and Century City Mall while my daughter and wife go shopping with my credit card. So I don't want to be here for too long. I'm gonna go bankrupt. Just kidding. So hey guys, thanks for jumping on board. I did want to talk about a really important topic that's
Hey
happening
Joe, real
today, and
quick, we
it's
can't see we
yeah.
can't see you. You only see black. Unless
Oh,
people
what?
can see you. I can't see you.
I can see you.
Oh, you can?
Okay,
Oh, there you
that's
are. Okay,
just you.
okay.
That's
Oh, it's
just you,
just me?
Marianne.
Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
continue
Use it.
shopping. I'll shut up.
Use it. Oh, yeah. Don't shop too much. Actually, that would be good.
Go get
Hey
him,
guys. So
Marianne.
let me just share my screen real quick. You guys see this? Let me and it's not gonna be death by PowerPoint. I was just showing Marianne earlier, and she goes, "Oh, bro, you get any slides, huh?" Don't be all long-winded and just kind of get to the point. So, hey guys, did you see my screen?
Yep, we do.
Okay,
Good to
okay,
go.
awesome. Hey guys, I'm one of those folks. I live in a multiverse where I've got a lot of things going on, like many of you. One of the big things that I have is I am one of the owners and executives for a company called eWorld Enterprise Solutions. So we do all things state for the state of Hawaii. Our One of our co-founders at New Wealth Advisors Club, Melina Boswell, she says this very often: "What you do in one thing, you do in everything." And very often, what I do in my day job, which is around IT, um, easily transitions over into real estate. So I just wanted to share with you something that's super duper exciting. Some of you might be using it already. Some of you might just be kicking the tires. It's around AI, and I wanted to kind of narrow the focus from just talking about AI in generalities to AI specifically. So, my company does a bunch of stuff for Hawaii, and I wanted to share that with you and how it can dovetail into your real estate business. So let me go through the agenda. So I'll just do a real quick introduction. I'll talk to you folks about what AI, how does it work, and then maybe ask some questions midstream. Talk about what we're doing here in the state, and actually, I'm a big superhero fan, and Iron Man has Jarvis, and I want to kind of relate to you how Jarvis plays in all of this, and then go through a set of questions. So just a little bit about me. So this is a rice field, and this is a rice field in the Philippines. So I was actually born in the Philippines. And if my dad wasn't in the Navy, I would be on some carabao in the rice field, probably plowing rice in the Philippines. So I was born in the Philippines. And then from there, what had happened was I ended up, my dad, he was in the Navy, eventually got transferred over to Pearl Harbor, and grew up in the mean streets of the real Eva Beach, which is Fort Weaver Road and Hanaka'i, on not the fake Eva Beach, which is all the stuff before it. So I was a paper boy there. So if you have any properties that were on Hanaloa, Kawiki, Kalapu, um, let's see, all of those areas, that was my hood. And then from there, I went and joined McDonald's and became a crew member. And I thought I was going to own my McDonald's one day, but that's where I met Marianne, and she goes, you're not making McDonald's your career. So ended up getting into tech. I was tech support for TurboTax for a while, then got into healthcare IT with Kapilani and Kaiser. And then in the mid 90s, went to Silicon Valley and did the whole pre-IPO.com thing there. And then eventually, with that same company, opened up our Singapore Asia Pacific office, then got a little homesick and then moved back to Hawaii, and then became part of eWorld, which is where I'm at today. And then we've also got Ely Hawaii. So this is our real estate investing arm that Marianne and I operate. So one of the things I wanted to show you folks is, so this is me, um, VP and Chief Experience Officer at eWorld. And again, I talked to you about, my travels. eWorld does IT for the state of Hawaii. been in the IT industry for about 30 years. And my hobby, much like some people, their hobby is, surfing or golfing. Mine's real estate. So I oversee our customer experience practice at eWorld Enterprise Solutions. So I'm a big Simon Sinek fan, and he talks about people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I think for me, I've always thought about tech and real estate being two different things. In actuality, it's really it all blends in together. So we always talk about working Akamai, meaning working smart, leveraging things like tech and automation to help you in your line of business. So with that said, I just wanted to kind of talk to you folks about what is AI, or what we're calling artificial intelligence. And basically, it's really using a computer or a machine to think and act like a human. But in this case, it doesn't get tired. So when we talk about AI, it's nonstop learning, and you could give it whatever dimension. You could train it around subject twos, or lease auctions, or creative financing, or burrs, or novations. There's all kinds of things that you can feed it, and it doesn't need to eat. It doesn't need to go to the bathroom. It doesn't need to play. It doesn't need any kind of rest. So, I mean, it's pretty exciting. AI is, this is not something that is to come. It's something that's actually here. And, the beauty of it is it's constantly thinking, collecting, and helping you with making data-driven decisions. And, more importantly, it's information that you can use to automate. So I just want to let you folks know that I will blend this into what we're doing around real estate, but wanted to kind of share with you what AI is. So here's kind of the three pieces to AI. Number one is machine learning. And what that is, just think about, when you're building a house, and when you're building a house, and especially ones where it's something that you're going to cookie cutter, maybe you're building a bunch of houses on, some acreages. One of the things that you're going to do is you're going to build schedules, like maybe things like electrical, like windows, like plumbing, and you're going to be using those schedules from project to project to project, and we call those patterns. So with AI, there's really three components to it. The first one is called machine learning, where it really starts to develop patterns. So not just arbitrary, like for example, in our real estate world, there's specific terms, right? Specific terms in lending and acquisition. So if you don't set up these patterns correctly, it might provide you information in the wrong context. So for example, when it comes to loans on our side, we have, DSR loans. We have loans that are very, very specific: hard money, private money. So you can't just use that across the board. We have a specific taxonomy that we typically use as real estate investors. So one of the things that you could train the bot to do is to learn all those patterns so that it becomes contextually correct. So this is one big piece, is machine learning. Secondly is, it's kind of like, they call it this neural network. And what that basically means is it brings all of these things together to help you either make decisions, either from an analytics perspective, which could mean, what demographic in Hawaii, what type of homeowner is best to serve, whether they're distressed, or whether, they're wanting to do a refi, or whether they're wanting to sell their property. You can make predictions based on the information that you gather. So the second piece of AI is this neural network. And then the third one, which I think, traverses any industry, is to use all of that data to do automation and to perform tasks. I know today, we have, from virtual assistants to websites that have chat capabilities to autoresponders. all of that is actually data that you can use as part of your business. And these three components, machine learning, the neural network, and then these expert systems, are all advantageous to what you do. At the end of the day, it just will help you make your world a whole lot easier as you're, real estate investing. It's a pretty complex, although people make it seem simple, it's a pretty complex environment, and there's a lot of complex transactions that happen behind the scenes, and using something like AI will definitely help you in that, making things either bigger, better, faster, cheaper. So yeah, just wanted to kind of paint the picture of what AI is today and what it can do for you. So again, we talked about these things, where we're talking about the brain, we're talking about computations, and then we're talking about automated tasks. So with that said, and let me just take a quick pause and not get all bala out, but I just wanted to throw that out there. What are some of the ways that you're using AI today? And how are you using it in your daily lives? Are you using it for fun? Are you using it for work? And then what do you guys think in the future of what this could be? So instead of me being a talking head, let me take a real quick pause. Questions 1, 2, and 3. Anybody want to kind of throw stuff out there, whether, you're using it already, whether you're using it for fun or for work, and what do you see, as you look into the future when it comes to AI? So let me take a pause there and see if anybody has any questions or comments. Marianne, Keikoa, Corey, anybody?
Were you definitely using it? I just want to leave the opportunity to the room first. It looks like Mary Lou says she uses it to write emails for work and ask questions. That's great. Oh, I need to do that.
Saves so much time.
Wow,
a 30-minute email for supposed to be professional, you know how that is. Less than 5 minutes saves so much time.
You use it to proofread it or to write it for?
I say write an email concerning this subject, and then it'll write the email for me. I'm not the best grammar person, those kind of things, and it'll make it look very professional, elaborate, all of that. And then I'm like, wow. And then it's definitely
You're like, man, I sound good.
Yeah, right. It's very smart.
It's like, oh, not even any pigeon in that response. It sounds smart.
Yes, exactly. So it saves a lot of time. I just use Chat GPT. So that's why I wanted to get on here and learn about how else I can use it for real estate.
Yeah. Well, we use it for outbound sales. And it took me a long time to pull the trigger on that, because I was like, how can it, I don't know if I can trust, I care about our reputation. I care about how we're presented in the real world. And so I resisted it for a while until I finally sat down with my friend Sam, and he opened up, the back end of this technology, and I saw the different conversations, and then so we ended up pulling the trigger, and it's changed our business entirely. We're actually going through the KPIs right now, trying to clean up our data, because it comes down to habits too, right? There's still some manual labor here, and the tracking, so getting accurate data. But I know that we've probably 5x'd, our revenue utilizing AI, and I think that it's going to be incorporated, in everything that we do in some fashion. So I think this is an important topic for sure. It's the hot topic, but it is an important topic that I think we should try to stay. It's hard to stay ahead of something like this, but at least keep up, right? So we don't get left behind.
Yeah, there's I went to a conference in Florida, and people put it this way: when it comes to AI, think about it really as your co-pilot. However, there's sensitivities in the workforce, and they say this: is AI gonna replace staff? Is it gonna replace workers? And I think in today's context, especially in Hawaii, right, with our workforce there, anytime you think about AI, a lot of the union reps will come back and say, hey, we've got concerns with this, being the fact that our population is thinking that you're going to end up replacing them. Here's how we put it is, I don't think AI is necessarily going to replace the humans. However, I think humans that understand AI are going to replace humans that don't understand it. And I think you could say the same in our real estate investing world, where if you don't keep up with this technology, I think, eventually, you may get replaced. And I think part of that is AI is, it's not a dream, it's something that is currently here. So, and I want to kind of share with you what's being done in Hawaii, and how important AI plays a factor, and it's going to play a factor in your world. So thanks for that feedback. So when it comes to the state of Hawaii, in terms of using AI, we actually have 5 pieces. The first piece is a virtual PBX, which I know some of you folks are using Ring Central or Zoom, or you're using some virtual call center. That's got AI in it. The next thing you've got is you've got your own, whether you're using, virtual assistants, or you're using programmers or developers from the Philippines or from the US or from South America or from India. I think, there's a growing need for people to help you set this up. The center of the universe, when it comes to artificial intelligence, is around this thing called a virtual agent. So everybody has it. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, IBM, it all centers around this thing called a virtual agent, which is really, it's kind of that automated human that I was talking about earlier. When it comes to your websites, I know everybody kind of has their own website. However, the next generation website is going to end up being a service portal. So when you're trying to engage with people that either want to do hard money loans, or homeowners, or wholesalers, or people that want to transact with you, what's going to happen in the industry is you're going to see a lot of these static websites really become more like a service portal. One place where you can shop. I'm here at Century City Mall in Los Angeles, and one of the reasons why people go to a mall is there's so many different options, whether you want to buy clothes, or you want to buy food, makeup, you want to buy boba, you want to do all kinds of things. When it comes to your website, you want to have people be able to do the same thing, and one-stop shop. So what you will see is people start evolving their sites into more of a service portal. And within that portal, you can run AI. And then finally, you can provide services beyond the services that you provide today, that is contextually correct, that's not guessing, because we live in a high stakes world, right? So people today, yeah, you're using Chat GPT, you're using AI, but Corey, to your point earlier, you've got concerns whether, hey, is that information that the bot is going to provide, is it going to be correct? Is it going to be incorrect? Especially if you're dealing with a high stakes homeowner that's on the verge of losing their business, losing their house. And it's important to be very, very precise. So when it comes to AI, there's these 5 areas that are extremely important. So when it comes to the state of Hawaii, I know people are very sensitive to the Maui wildfires. Here's what we've been doing with AI. So I don't know if you guys traveled during COVID. Safe travels Hawaii. So we were a big part of this, and we use artificial intelligence to look for fake COVID tests and vaccine cards, and vaccinations. So on the back end of that, we use AI. Secondly, most recently, with the Department of Unemployment Insurance. So today, if your business burnt down, or if you were affected by the Maui wildfires, we help set up the Department of Unemployment with they have a program now, and it's called, of course, there's going to be a bunch of kids here that are going to hang out while I'm doing a presentation right in front of me. Okay, so the Department of Unemployment Insurance, basically they have a program, and this program is called disaster unemployment assistance. So if you guys have any people that need, and oh my God, there's like kids right here. If they need assistance, they can call the Department of Unemployment. And unemployment right now is able to take on they're able to take on actual claims over the phone, and we're using AI for a lot of this service. We're working with the Department of Transportation. So if you've ever driven on the road, Nimitz Highway from Sand Island Access Road to Ala Moana, we're watching you. The reason why we're watching you is we're taking all of the camera data, and we're taking all of the camera data that we're getting from all of those cameras in that stretch of road, and basically we're counting cars. We've got two other packages. We're doing hard braking, and we're getting all the telemetry data from the car manufacturers to see if we need to install rumble strips or speed bumps. So all of that stuff today is we're using AI for that, as well as on the climate side. So we've got tsunamis and hurricanes and wildfires. And the issue with that is, it's really affecting the environment. So we also have AI that we're using with the Department of Transportation around climate resiliency. The third one, which is I'm most excited about, is we're working with the Department of Transportation around their permitting. So this is for overweight vehicles, for vehicles and freights. Like, for example, you don't want to have a rig that ends up hitting a footbridge and then ultimately, having the H1 at a standstill. So we're looking at AI to automate that entire process. So that's exciting, and hopefully we can bring that technology over to the Department of Planning and Permitting beyond just having a bot intake your application. So we're doing that. We also have the Department of Human Services, again, with the Maui wildfires. We actually have a Maui wildfires queue that you can call into, again, if you've been affected by the Maui fires. Department of Human Services is going to be invoking disaster SNAP for those that need food and medicine and those types of services from what you can get from the EBT cards. And then we're also working with the Department of Education as well as the Department of Health, and all of these are all using AI. So here's some of the big state projects that we're doing today. And again, it's it's technology that you can use in your environment. So here's a couple of things that I see. One is part of AI is on the document side. So here's an example of blueprints. So blueprints, all the different submissions that you can use when you're submitting in your application. We got Document AI. I'd like to encourage the City and County of Honolulu to use more of this, because I think on a scale of 1 to 10, they're probably at a 3 or 4, and I think we could really help them increase the permitting process if we do more Document AI. And then secondly is Vision AI. So basically that is using all the camera data. This is what they use at the airports to track terrorists and to track, possible threats. Is we use cameras and we use AI on cameras to do this. So again, in your environment, I mean, if you're doing drone imagery or if you're doing a walkthrough of a house, it's something that you can use potentially for inspections, and it be able to discern things that need to be fixed or repaired. So that's another area. Here's a big one. Earlier we were talking about NLP stands for natural language processing. So here's one of the challenges. In Hawaii, not everybody speaks English, right? You got Samoan, Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese, Tagalog, Ilocano, Cebuano, Visayan, Spanish. So we even picked this up during the Maui wildfires. I didn't realize that in Maui, there is also a fairly large Hispanic population there. So in any case, in Hawaii, they call it equitable access. So natural language processing, artificial intelligence is super duper important. especially for us when we're dealing with homeowners that don't speak English, or you've got a VA that, you know, in their native tongue, they speak Hindi or Tagalog. Natural language processing, though this is not just a fancy answering machine, it's actually AI that you can use to have a conversation with either homeowners or non-speaking English people. You can also teach NLP to understand Pidgin. So in some cases, when we have a bot, a voice bot set up, we're also training it to understand English. So things like, "Hey, Kimo, where you stay?" Or, "Hey," instead of saying, you know, three, you know, we have it understand tree. So, or pilikia or ekalamai. I mean, all of those, either Hawaiian or Pidgin or anything that's very, very specific to us, you know, we can teach it. All in all, what happens is you can tie all of this together through automation. So here's the thing. This is here today, right? And you know, earlier we were talking about the use of Chat GPT, and you know, that's something that you can use in our New Wealth Advisors world when we're dealing primarily with homeowners, and homeowners are in distress. Here's the type of avatars that we're dealing with. Depressed Dan, so you know, somebody that's just absolutely depressed that they're being foreclosed on. You got anxious Ann, somebody that's super duper anxious. You got angry Alex, you got squatting squatters, you got fraudulent Frank. Here's all the different avatars that we work with. So imagine if you can use AI to engage with, you know, these different avatars and train it so that it can deal with somebody that ghosts you, or somebody that's lukewarm about getting some assistance, or unrealistic Uriah that's saying, "Hey, you know what? I want $1 million for my property that's worth $500,000." So here's the different types of personas that you can use today, and you can use AI to basically work with these types of homeowners 24/7. So this is what most of us are using today, right? It's called Chat GPT, which stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And basically what it is it is a bot that is you'll hear this term very often. It's called a large language model. Just think of that as a database. So it was developed by OpenAI. It was just launched not too long ago, and people are using it today, right? You're using it to, you know, maybe do a memo, draft a letter. You're using it for your outbound campaigns. So this is like AI 101. The challenge with Chat GPT is much like Google. People often say, Google it, right? The challenge on the Google side, it's going to go Google everything. When it comes to Chat GPT, and you're using it, so Kiko, you're using it, and very many people are using it as well. However, that large language model, that's going into a public database. So if you've got some kind of important proprietary data and you're using Chat GPT, it's taking your data and making it publicly available. So for some people they care, some people they don't care. I just wanted to, you know, kind of flag that with you folks, that this large language model is public domain knowledge. So in the industry, the challenge in our world is, oh my God, then my information becomes you know, possibly exposed out to the internet. And here's one of the things that we say at the internet, right? Is write once, read many times forever. So just be very careful when you're using Chat GPT, because again, you are consenting that you know, it can be publicly available. Here is the next generation of Chat GPT, and it's called generative AI, or generative artificial intelligence, where earlier I was talking to you about document AI, I was talking about vision AI. The cool thing about this generative model is you can have it specifically for your own business and for nobody else. So this is where AI is heading. I think it really helps. I'll give you an example. We deal with a lot of high stakes data, people that are on welfare. We're dealing with child custody cases. That information cannot leak out. However, if you want to leverage AI, you're not going to be using Chat GPT, because if you're using Chat GPT, that information can become publicly available. However, if you're using something like generative AI, it's something that you can use and you could protect it within your own domain. Here's an example. So hey, there's a handsome guy here, Team Kekoa. Team Kekoa, so Kekoa has his own website. If you take a look at it though, there isn't very much around AI. However, there can be. The reason why is depending on the audience that Kekoa wants to reach. For example, we're dealing with some of the avatars or personas that we deal with at New Wealth Advisors Club. We can put that into the large language model so that when Kekoa exposes his chatbot, or he exposes a phone number, all of that is being stored in a large language model that is specific to Team Kekoa and that nobody else can use. And it can start learning about ghosting Gary, about lukewarm Laura, about unrealistic Uriah. And what the beauty about generative AI is, he can use it in multiple places. He can use it for his website. He can use it for a chat bot in his website. He can use it on a form that's in his website. If Kekoa decides to have a call center, he can use it in his call center. He can use it in his CRM. And then if he's got a virtual assistant that's in the Philippines or that's in India, the virtual assistant can use it because it'll process information that he or she can use. So generative AI, you can also use, there's also a term in there that's called human in the loop. So it doesn't need to be completely 100% a robot. You can use your virtual assistant to be a human in the loop that would be able to leverage the generative AI. And then with that said, you can do a lot of data-driven decisions based on advanced and predictive analytics. So honestly, at the end of the day, it can be your own Jarvis. So, I mean, it's pretty cool, right? You watch the Avengers, Iron Man, Tony Stark goes in his Iron Man suit, and Jarvis is his AI that can do a variety of things. Honestly, guys, we're not super far away from Jarvis and having your own Jarvis. And that's the reason why I picked Jarvis is, it's something that, people are a fan of. And Jarvis is very specific to Tony Stark, to Iron Man. So you could have technically your own Jarvis. So if you guys ever want to see a demo, I am going to be doing it at our next Rise Up event, which is on October the 14th, 2023. You can all sign up. The cool thing about this, it's a fundraiser for Achieve Zero. I was board president for over 3 years. Definitely a tough thing to do. I thought being part of a nonprofit was easy. It's very, very difficult. And one of the big difficulties is just funding. So here's an opportunity for you to fund on Achieve Zero and help them with funding. I'm also going to bring some legislators together. I've always talked about politics as ill. I've never liked politics. I hated politics. However, if you want to make a difference in Hawaii, you need to get involved in politics. I'll give you an example. You want to get involved and help out with the Department of Planning and Permitting, you got to get involved in politics, because Dawn's not going to be able to do it by herself. We're going to need Blangiardi. We're going to need Governor Green. We're going to need Anton Krucky. We're going to need all these people to kind of come together. So instead of being us and they, hey, let's collaborate with them. Let's find ways and be solution providers to help them with that. We're also big on people over profits. Not the easiest thing to live out when you're in front of an opportunity that has 200, 300, $400,000 in margin. Sometimes people over profit goes out the window, but and I think that goes for everybody, including ourselves. We wanted to encourage people to really think about people over profits. especially in Hawaii. We wanted to bring some of our REI friends together. There's a bunch of people here, but there's also a bunch of people that are not on here that could definitely help participate in what we call our local REI panel. Kikoa, our own beloved Kikoa here, is going to be talking about multifamily, and I'm going to be talking about generative AI and real estate. Please sign up. It's www.riseupevent.com. And that's it. Any questions? And it's you want to hear something funny, guys? Although Marianne is shopping, she's texting me and saying, "Hurry up and let's get going." So
That was awesome, Joel. Thank you so much, brother.
You're lucky
No
they didn't
worries.
have Rolex on hand, dude.
Oh my God! Hey, Apple Watch good enough, bro. What you talking about? Stop it. Anybody
Oh,
have any
Marianne, I'd like to see your
questions?
shopping bag.
Oh
Hey, Joel,
man, I
I'm
hope
just
they didn't buy
curious.
anything.
Joel, if somebody's brand new and listening and they're like, man, I'm not using it very much. What would be the first thing that you would say a real estate person could do with AI that would be a great entree?
Yeah, I think one is, although I said to use it with caution, is ChatGPT. That'll at least give you a good flavor. You know, if you go to the Open AI site, you know, it's free. I know, Kiko, I've got the term pocket special from you. And, you know, it is a pocket special that you can go on the site and test it out yourself, and even do things like, you know, what is bird, or have it write a letter for you for a homeowner or a private money lender, and just kind of kick the tires and see how well it does for you. I think the first thing that you should do is just start using it for use it for Chat GPT, and then later on get your feet wet and then start to evolve it from there. And just be very cautious about it. Like anything else on the internet, you put stuff on the internet, it's there forever. So just be very careful when you're using Chat GPT. That's my word of wisdom there. So Keiko, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that's super good. I would just say too, for anybody who's brand new, ChatGPT is it's almost like having a research assistant for free. So anything you need, ChatGPT can get it for you. I mean, it literally can get you a recipe for the best shoyu chicken. It can also outline what you should say at a Rise Up event if you're speaking on a topic. You know, it'll actually give you a full outline. If you're actually trying to think of a cover letter to make an offer that is a lowball offer, ChatGPT will actually write a lowball offer cover letter to the seller from a buyer. Like, it literally is amazing. So to me, I've gained a ton of time back because there's basically a writer, and I'm a pretty good writer, I think, but it takes me time to write. But with ChatGPT, it literally is 60 seconds later, and I've got a draft. And it's life-changing if you could start to use it. And the reason why I think it's really good to use is because if you can buy time back, or you can get some time back, that gives you the opportunity to do more of what you want to do, whether that's hanging out with your wife or your kids, or look at more deals, or do things that are better use of your time. You know, so basically, like Mary Lou said, it's like, yeah, she could write it, but it'd take a half hour. Why take half hour when you can take 5 minutes and then get 25 minutes for, you know, go shopping or go look at more deals? So anyhow, that would be my word advice. But, you know, Joe, one more follow-up question to that. You've hounded it 3 or 4 times so far, but I think it's important to go a little bit deeper. You were saying it's like, you know, obviously anything you put out on the internet, I think we're all common knowledge now that once you put out your address or your, you know, what you like in colors, it's going to all get out there. But then how does ChatGPT do that? If let's say somebody's just going to go on ChatGPT to look up some things, write a simple letter, are we exposed as well? Like, can they actually come into our computers and grab personal information and all that? Like, what are you trying to exactly say there as the caution?
Yeah, no, I think part of it isn't necessarily the fact that it's gonna open up a portal into your machine. It's just the information that you provide to it, and the information that you provide to it is going to get ingested by Chat GPT, and it's going to put it into their own database, which is called a large language model. So that's why I am saying moving forward, and it's here as well, is I would like to see people start to transition over to generative AI. The reason why generative AI is going to be something, you're going to create your own Jarvis, your own virtual AI that's only for you. So I'll give you an example. So if you were to create your own generative AI, and you would have your own chat GPT that's going to be specific to your environment. It's not going to go out. And there's really three areas. One is it can start culling the information from your Team Kikoa site or whatever sites you have. So it could be Team Kikoa, it could be Team Kiko, it could be New Wealth Advisors Club, and it could be very limited to that. It can also, like, for example, if you have documents, a document could be a subject to, or a lease option, or say a short sale, or a hard money, or a private money, a promissory note. You're not going to want to put that on Chat GPT. However, with generative AI, you can have it point to your database. So when you're engaging with somebody, say you're mentoring with, and they're on your service portal, they're on Team Kiko service portal, it's only specific to you, if that makes any sense. It's not going to be open to the world. There's typically three areas. One is it's either your websites, it's either structured data or unstructured data. So structured data could be things like your forms, your documents that you want to share out to people. Unstructured data could be your notes, and then websites could be, you could have it on, if you wanted to, you could point it to Bigger Pockets. You could point it to Kiko Capital. You could point it to the New Wealth Advisor site, New Wealth Advisors Club. The beauty of that is it becomes contextually correct. It's meaning it's not, and you can create they call it a temperature. You could going back to AI hallucinations. AI hallucinations is something when you don't put a whole lot of boundaries around your AI. In the world of Google, they call it temperature. So the hotter the temperature, the more accurate it is. The colder the temperature, the less accurate and the more wide it is. So if you have it set to hot, it is not going to guess at all. And part of generative AI is it's going to give you where it got it from. So it's super duper beautiful, and you can make it custom to you. And that's why I use the term Jarvis. You could have it really as your own Jarvis, and that nobody else can use it.
Joel,
unless you want them to.
Do you use, because I've been using Bard, like Google's Bard, instead of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I've noticed that it's a lot more accurate, and it goes a little bit more in depth, and it's more real time.
Yep.
So what do you use? Did you use Bard or Chat? What do you use?
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing too is I'm definitely a Bard fan. So part of eWorld, we are the leading West Coast provider for contact center artificial intelligence platform. We rolled our first implementation at the Department of Human Services. We're the first in the United States. So I am a little bit biased towards Google since we are their premier West Coast partner around their call center AI. So to answer your question, I'm a pretty big Google Bard fan. However, Google, you're gonna see the term Bard go away, and you're gonna hear the term generative AI come into place. So just FYI there.
Well, it was funny as Alex just so happened to put it into Bard, like asking tell me about Keiko Capital, and it said it was actually pretty accurate, but it said the co-founders is Corey Nimoto and then some random guy, some Asian guy. And so we're like, oh, that's weird. I wonder where it pulled that from. Never heard the name, nothing, totally wrong.
Yeah.
And so Alex, I told him, you know what, try to tell Bart to correct it, see what happens.
Well, here, so Corey, there's the beauty about that. So if you're using generative AI, you can correct it right now. You don't have to wait for Google. You're going to correct it right now. So, and you're basically going to train the bot on how to think like you, as an individual, how to think like you as Kiko, how to think like you as Team Kikoa, how to think like you as multifamily, how to think like you as New Wealth Advisors Club, how to think like you as Invest with Zasha. I mean, it's all those things. I mean, so that's the beauty around it. I mean, and that's here. That's here. Pretty exciting stuff.
No, yeah. And we've used it for so much just to get answer. I gotta confess something. So I was invited, I had the honor to write an article for REI Inc. magazine. I think it's coming out next month. But I did a lot of research and I did write the conclusion. Actually, Bard wrote the conclusion. So hopefully I can, actually, there might even be a link. Sheena, if you have the link to that article, can you share that in the chat? I don't even know if you saw it yet, Sheena, but yeah, it's funny because, but it was so easy. I like Kikoa. It takes me a long time to write because I'm very intentional. Even like Instagram posting, if I'm going to post something, like I usually, like I want it to have some sort of value, and it takes me a long time. So right towards the end, like I was just getting exhausted. It took me days to write this thing. And then I just had nothing left. So I just I just copied the entire article that I had so far, put it into Bard and asked it to write me a conclusion. It wasn't the greatest, I had to clean things up, put it in my tone and stuff. So it took me like another few minutes, but it would have took me like a couple more days to write that conclusion because I was just so exhausted by the end of it, So I think it's going to be a nice supplement, I think. And I guess my only last tip is, this is just for me, is like, I'm always nice to it. Hi, Bard. How are you?
Oh, that's hilarious. And
You
here's the
never
next
know.
generation to that. It's also who's on the other side. So you can actually train the virtual agent to think like you. And then on the flip side of that, you can also use it to what avatar persona are you trying to engage with, right? Whether it is another hard money lender, whether it is a private money lender, and you can also teach it that as well. And how about if that private money lender, is pretty only speaks Samoan or Tagalog, or you can have it communicate. We call it the translation hub. So you can use the virtual agent, you can use the AI to also translate for you, and it be contextually correct as well. So that's super duper exciting. We're using that today. So awesome stuff.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Joel. Does anybody have any
No
questions for
problem.
Joel?
Oh, those were great. So definitely Joel's going to be at the event in October in a couple of weeks on Saturday. So everybody in Hawaii and everybody not in Hawaii, come check it out. And Joel will continue to present on this. And Joel, it'd be fun if during that session you're able to really try to make some real simple action steps for people who are kind of newer to it. You've got such inspiring information that it's, for some of us, it's almost like it's over our heads, because it's like, man, that's so much. It's like the generative learning has become degenerative, because it's like paralysis, right? For some of us. So that would be awesome. But this was great. It's always so cool. It makes me want to go out and try to figure out how to add AI to everything I do. Add AI. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good point. Maybe what I'll do is I'll create a quick start for people, if they attend the event, where, these are the five steps to at least getting started. And I'm going to be doing a demo that's going to be very real estate investor specific. So excited to share that with you folks as well during the Rise Up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Something that just literally like 3 to 5 real estate investor must-dos with AI to get started. And that would be pretty cool.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Oh, this is awesome. Thank you. I love it.
Thank you, Joel. That was great. AI is here. It's not going anywhere.
It's definitely here for sure.
Did you guys hear about Elon Musk, what he did? I don't know. I didn't really actually confirm, but like apparently he started another AI company, put the valuation at like 20 billion. And actually, Alex was the one telling me this. And so, but he used that valuation to go recruit like the best engineers from like Google and OpenAI and Microsoft to start the company and giving them 1% equity each. 1% of 20 billion is what? 200 million or something? Is it 200 million? 1% of two, I don't know that many zeros, guys. So I think it's 200 million. Anyways, what a move though, because yeah, like overnight, these engineers are worth 200 million if they take the offer. It's the best in the world. So yeah, that was, I don't know what's going to happen there, when he's in control. I think it's good that there's many big players in the space so that nobody has, true control over the most powerful AI.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I heard there was a gentleman handshake that they're not supposed to be stealing talents from each other. Watch out. I don't know if Elon was part of that.
Yeah,
Old school Apple,
it sounds
Google,
like.
right? Handshake. Can't steal each other. Joe, stop stealing people.
Shut up.
Well, it
Sounds good.
does look like it is 200 million. So if anybody's like one of those AI engineers, it might be 200 million on the table for you. Thank you, Joel. And thank you guys for all showing up on another Coffee Talk Friday. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care. Have a good
Aloha,
weekend.
guys.
Aloha.
Are you going? Oh, my partner, you just laugh again.